So we have to play, and we didn't finish this yet. Jay, let's go to history. We gotta go to history. We didn't finish that video. Yeah.
Amp.
Yo, let's finish this video. Sorry, and then we're gonna play the video of why Jay don't fuck with Birdman / Wayne. Okay, so let's get past. This is the Tidal shit, right? This is the Tidal shit. So this is when Drake is falling out. And by the way, we all acknowledge that. I don't think Jay is just giving this to Kendrick to say fuck you, Drake. That's part of it. But there's a fuck you to Birdman. There's a fuck you to Wayne as well. You get what I'm saying? As I said, this is the real two birds, one stone.
It dropped his track I'm On One with Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, and Drake. At the end of Drake's verse, it's speculated that he sent subliminal shots towards Jay-Z and Kanye, saying that the throne is for the taking, telling everyone to watch him take it, which is a clear reference to Watch the Throne.
I'm just feeling like the throne is for the taking. Watch me take it.
Immediate speculation would begin circulating about this line, so Drake would take to Twitter that same day to deny that he was dissing Jay-Z. Hove diss? Hove, of all people, has not lost it. That's God Body Flow. That same day, as Drake was rolling out his second album, Take Care, he dropped a track called Dreams Money Can Buy on his OVO blog site. On this track, it's speculated that Drake sent more subliminals at Jay-Z. This track would eventually be re-released in 2019 on the compilation album Care Package.
And I feel like lately it went from top 5 to remaining 5. My favorite rappers either lost it or they ain't alive.
That summer, on August 29th, 2011, Lil Wayne dropped his album The Carter 4. On the track It's Good, featuring Drake and Jadakiss, Wayne would respond to Jay-Z's disses towards Birdman on Ham, where he would threaten to kidnap Beyonce and take out Jay-Z. Drake, on the other hand, would throw some shots towards Jay-Z as well in defense of Lil Wayne and Birdman at the beginning of his verse.
Please pardon my brother, he's just angry at you who don't have your heart in your rap shit.
On November 11th, 2011, Drake would sit down with Billboard for an interview, and during the interview, he was asked about never winning a Grammy despite having 6 nominations at this point.
By the way, I think Kendrick took all the Drake Grammys, bro. That's another part of their little competitiveness.
In 2009, Drake's track Best I Ever Had lost to Jay-Z's track DOA. So in this interview, Drake speaks about how losing to Hove angered him. But the one that really got to me was when I lost to DOA for Best I Ever Had. That one to me was like, really? Not to say that Jay-Z isn't the most incredible rapper and that DOA wasn't a good song. I just felt like they had an option to give me a Grammy for a mixtape, and they just didn't do it, because it goes against the grain of everything that is traditional. On November 15th, 2011, Drake dropped his album Take Care. On the track The Ride, it's once again speculated that Drake took subliminal shots at Jay-Z.
Getting older, I see no threat in Yoda.
A couple of weeks later, Jay-Z would share a handwritten note on the OVO blog site congratulating Drake on selling 631,000 copies in the first week with Take Care.
That's what I like about Jay, man. You see, when you a legendary hater, sometimes you got to give props, but really you're going to disguise the hate. You got to disguise the hate. Shout out to Hove, bro.
Saying, quote, "Monster numbers comes in. Proud of your journey. Peace, Hove." After this, beef rumors would be quieted following Jay's comments, and things would settle down in 2012, and in 2013, Drake was gearing up for the release of his third album, Nothing Was the Same. Now by this time, Drake was just dominating. Everything he touched was a colossal hit record. On July 25th, 2013, Jay-Z did an interview with Elliott Wilson, where he would speak on his competition with Drake, saying that Drake's the Kobe Bryant to his Michael Jordan. there's a respect thing there, but there's also a competitive thing, and it's done in the right way. He's definitely the one that's reared his head as the guy. He's definitely Kobe Bryant. That August, Drake brought out Kanye at the 2013 OVO Fest, where Ye would say that him and Jay wouldn't have done Watch the Throne if it wasn't for Drake putting so much pressure on them by taking over the game.
And we wouldn't be able to make the music that we made. Me and Ho would have never made Watch the Throne if this wasn't putting pressure on us like that.
On September 24th, 2013, Drake dropped his album Nothing Was the Same. On the track Pound Cake, Jay-Z is featured. Now, it is said that Jay-Z actually ended up sending Drake 2 verses that were set to appear on his album Magna Carta Holy Grail, but he decided to send it to Drake instead to put on Pound Cake. On the first line of his verse, Jay-Z actually dissed Drake when he said that he had Benzes before Drake had braces.
I had Benzes for you had braces.
On part 2 of the track called Paris Morton Music 2, Drake would seemingly respond to Jay's line. Later in the verse, he says that he studied the game from past artists like Jay-Z, but now he's doing it better.
Like I didn't study the game to the letter and understand that I'm not doing it the same and I'm doing it better.
That same day, Drake appeared on Hot 97 for an interview to speak on his album, and he spoke on Pound Cake and his relationship with Jay-Z. Drake would say that they have a great relationship and that Hov is a great mentor to him.
Rap.
So you have like built a nice relationship with him.
I mean, yeah, I think like one of the strongest, I think, if not the strongest.
Of all the other rappers?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Who knew?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's like he's just like an incredible mentor to me and gives me great guidance and is very, very supportive. And
is that a new relationship, or were you guys always cool?
No, it's always been like that. You
really?
know, I mean, I think the more I make him proud,
that's
I
so
think,
cute.
yeah, like, the more I show improve, like that, the like, that's where the relationship grows. It's just like the more he has to say to me, and I've been consistent enough to sort of deserve or warrant advice from him,
right?
And he gives it to me, and he's just I saw him last night. He's like he's the best, man, for real.
Wow.
He's just a solid dude.
Yeah, we like Hov up here.
Oh yeah,
too.
of course.
After this, it seemed as if everything was cool between the two, but that would be short-lived. Just months later, in February of 2014, Drake did an interview with Rolling Stone where he would take a jab at Jay-Z for having art references in his songs. It's like Hov can't drop bars these days without at least 4 art references. I would love to collect at some point, but I think the whole rap/art world thing is getting kind of corny. Now,
I ain't gonna lie. Jay-Z's hearing that Drake is calling him corny probably had him fuming.
Drake, of all people, calling you corny is just crazy. So of course, Jay-Z was not going to go for this. The next month, on March 23rd, 2014, Jay-Z and his Rock Nation protege, Jay Electronica, dropped a freestyle over Soulja Boy's We Made It beat. Now this in itself was a shot at Drake, because in late 2013, Drake did his own version over this exact beat. On his verse, Jay-Z would directly respond to Drake's comments in his Rolling Stone interview, where he would apologize to Drake for the art references, but calls him Mrs. Drizzy.
Sorry, Mrs. Drizzy, for so much y'all talk. Silly me rapping about that I really bought. Why these rappers rap about guns they ain't shot.
A week later, on April 1st, 2014, Drake would drop a track called Draft Day, which is dedicated to the then rookie football star Johnny Manziel. On this track, it's speculated that he clapped back at Jay-Z with some subliminals.
I think I'm on my 8th flow, just watch me paint flow. We all do it for the art, so I can never hate though.
Later that month, during an NBA playoff game between the Toronto Raptors and the Brooklyn Nets, which of course Drake, hailing from Toronto, supports the Raptors, and Jay-Z, being from Brooklyn, supports the Nets. During an encore interview, Drake would send more shots at Jay-Z, saying, "This is the people's team out here tonight. You know what I mean? Toronto Raptors. Jay-Z somewhere eating a fondue plate. On May 13th, 2014, DJ Khaled dropped the track They Don't Love You No More with Meek Mill, French Montana, Rick Ross, and Jay-Z. On his verse, Jay-Z clapped back at Drake for his disses on his track Draft Day.
Haters wanna ball, let me tighten up my drawstring. Wrong sports ball, you know yourself as a lacrosse team.
Fast forward to February 13th, 2015, Drake dropped his album.
Those actually, I obviously knew about the Sorry Miss Drizzy for so much art talk. Yeah, I knew that one. Ooh, I didn't know about the last one.
If you're reading this, it's too late. And on the track 6 p.m. in New York, he sent more subliminal shots towards Jay-Z, saying that he should be the third member of the Throne duo.
You rapping like the throne should be the three of y'all.
That same year, in 2015, Jay-Z would announce the relaunch of his newly bought streaming service called Tidal. At the launch announcement, a bunch of big names were on stage, except for Drake. That's because it was reported that Drake turned down Jay's offer to partner with Tidal. According to Billboard, Drake was supposed to be one of the many celebrities that signed on for joint ownership of Tidal at a star-studded launch ceremony back in March, but he dropped out as late as 2 days before the event. Drake seemingly rejected the offer because he did not want to be under Jay-Z and would end up signing a $19 million deal with Apple, which was a direct competitor of Tidal. In the summer of 2015, Drake and Meek Mill would be engaged in a beef, prompting Drake to drop a diss track called Charged Up on July 27th, 2015. On this track, he speaks about signing the deal with Apple and throws shots at Jay-Z's Tidal, keeping in mind that Meek Mill is a Roc Nation artist. Drake uses the word entitled to do a play on Tidal.
I'm trying to take the high road. I still got love for my idols. I got me a deal with Apple and I still feel entitled.
On January 31st, 2016, Drake would start off the year dropping a track called Summer 16. On this track, Drake took a really disrespectful jab at Jay-Z.
I used to want to be on Rockefeller, then I turned into Jay.
A couple of months later, on April 5th, 2016, Drake would drop his album Views. That same day, he dropped the track called Pop Style, along with One Dance as singles promoting the album. The tracks were released for exclusive digital download on iTunes. On the single version of the track, Pop Style features the duo of Kanye West and Jay-Z, listed as The Throne. On this track, Jay-Z just did a single line, not a verse. Now on the album itself, Drake did his own version of the track, leaving Jay-Z and Ye off it. Drake would later explain why Jay-Z only had a single line on the track the next month in an interview with Zane Lowe. Of course, people want to hear Jay-Z rap, so hearing him do 2 lines might be frustrating to a certain audience. That's just landed in my lap. I just dealt with it accordingly. It didn't play out how I wanted it to as far as business or whatever goes, so I figured it would be easier to go with my version. Sometimes we just fall on opposite sides of the spectrum. It's always mutual respect, but sometimes it has to be from afar. According to Kanye, at a show during his St. Pablo tour in October of that year, the track was scrapped from Drake's album due to streaming politics with Apple and Tidal, also out of respect for Meek Mill.
But then it went out of that territory, went into some Tidal, some political, about percentages on songs.
That summer, on June 26th, 2016, DJ Khaled dropped his track I Got the Keys with Future and Jay-Z. Throughout the track, Jay-Z took more subliminals at Drake. On the first verse, he opened up responding to Drake's Summer 16 jab, saying that he can't be him until he owns his masters.
It's always asking me the key. Till you own your own, you can't be free. Till you own your own, you can't be me.
On the second verse, he once again sent subliminal shots at Drake.
In real life, they like me. In real life, I'm like, no.
A couple of months later, on October 23rd, 2016, Drake and 21 Savage dropped their track Sneakin', and on his verse, Drake sent subliminals at Jay-Z for saying that he has to own his masters to be like him. He says that Jay didn't own his masters right away, which is true because Jay-Z didn't own his masters until 2015. So Drake says to have some patience and he'll be right there with him.
You ain't on it right away, you had to wait on us. Man, I'm only 29, have some patience with us.
A couple of months later, on February 12th, 2017, DJ Khaled dropped the track Shining with Jay-Z and Beyonce.
What's also like forgotten about is that Jay popped up on these Khaled records and gave those moments because he used that to sign Khaled to Rock Nation. Remember, Khaled was on Rock Nation.
On his verse,
for management. He was managing. He managed Khaled on Rock Nation, and he gave Khaled like a bunch of verses.
Jay-Z sent subliminal shots back at Drake once again, referencing the Summer 16 record.
12 solo albums all platinum. I know you ain't out here talking numbers right. I know you ain't out here talking summers right.
Later that year, in November 2017, Jay-Z was on his 444 tour, and he decided to pay homage to Drake, remixing his tracks Know Yourself and KMT, while Drake was actually in attendance in Toronto. After this, people would think that the beef would be squashed, as the two appeared to be on good terms. The next year, on June 29th, 2018, Drake dropped his album Scorpion, and on the track Talk Up, Jay-Z would be featured. One line in particular I want to mention was at the very end of Jay's verse. He talks about killing X, which is a reference to the murder of the late rapper XXXTentacion. Drake has been heavily speculated to have allegedly had something to do with X's murder, so I find it funny that Jay mentioned this here. It's also been said that Hove recorded his verse while in Europe for the On the Run 2 tour days before the album's release, and X was killed 11 days prior.
Y'all kill X, let Cinnamon live. Streets is done.
On that album was a track called Survival, where Drake would reference how he's trading shots with the GOAT, which is referring to Jay-Z, and how they talked about their subliminal beef.
Taking shots with the gold and talked about shots that we sending.
The next month, while Jay and Beyonce were still on their On the Run 2 tour, they stopped in Detroit, where Drake and Jay-Z would link up, being photographed by Rock Nation Senior Vice President Lenny S. This would mark their first time being photographed together in over 5 years. In December of 2019, Drake did his infamous Rap Radar interview where he would speak on his beef with Jay-Z.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, I mean, yeah. We smoke. But you like the sparring, though, you know, because, like, you say you take shots with the GOAT, you talk about the shots that you send with Jay-Z. Like, why has that relation remained intact? Why has it never gone left?
I think Jay has a lot of respect for me, and he's aware of the massive amount of respect that I have for him at the end of the day. And I think we both enjoyed our moments of, you know, him, you know, checking the young boy and me trying to be like, nah, I'm here, you know, like.
After this, nothing else happened, and in late 2021, on Drake's album Certified Lover Boy, Jay-Z was featured on the track called Love All. Who do you think had the upper hand in this subliminal match? Drake or Jay-Z?
Interesting. Now
tuned into the motherfucking greatest.
This is the Jay and Wayne one. I'm not gonna play all of it. We want to get to relevant parts. Some of the stuff that you might not know about what really happened with Jay and Wayne is a very interesting thing, because there's at times when Wayne was falling out with Birdman, or when Wayne was in contract negotiations, Jay was actually there.
Jay-Z was already solidified as one of the greatest. On the third verse of this track, Jay-Z says that he's gonna drop the Black Album, then retire as the best rapper alive.
I dropped that Black Album, then I back out it as the best rapper alive.
Later that year, on November 14th, 2003, Jay-Z dropped his quote-unquote final album, The Black Album. After this, Lil Wayne saw that the throne was for the taking. Since
I think that's when is Carter one at that time? Wayne goes on a run from 2004, I want to say mid 2004 to like 2008, obviously culminating with Carter 3 or whatever. All these mixtapes, like he goes crazy, bro.
Since Jay-Z was now retired from hip-hop. Now, something that's definitely worth noting is that Jay-Z is one of Lil Wayne's favorite rappers of all time, and Wayne looks at Jay-Z as his idol. So this also could play a factor in this back and forth. Now, everything was cool between Jay and Wayne initially, but after Jay dropped the Black album is when things would go left. In 2003, Lil Wayne was gearing up to drop his fourth album, which would be the first installment of the Carter series. The album was originally supposed to drop in late 2003, but would be delayed due to Wayne's change in direction of the music, and some of the featured artists that were on the album weren't with Cash Money, so he put the unfinished album on a mixtape called The Drought, which dropped on October 2nd, 2003. Lil Wayne would then start making his fourth album, The Carter, all over again. On February 1st, 2004, Lil Wayne dropped his mixtape The Prefix, and on this mixtape he pays homage to Jay-Z by rapping over several beats of Hove's. On April 17th, 2004, Lil Wayne dropped the first single for The Carter, which was a track called Bring It Back, featuring Manny Fresh. On the outro to the track is when Lil Wayne would take the first official shots at Jay-Z on wax, when he said this.
The best rapper alive since the best rapper retired.
Wayne was claiming his spot as the best rapper alive since the best rapper retired, a clear shot towards Jay-Z, and this is when the beef would officially begin.
I don't think that's a shot, though. Best rapper alive since the best rapper retired. So you're basically acknowledging that Jay the best. You're just saying you're the new best.
But Jay-Z was still retired, and in 2004 would become the new president of Def Jam, so he didn't respond, of course. A couple of months later, on June 25th, 2004, just 4 days before the Carter dropped, Lil Wayne sat down with IGN for an interview. In the interview, Wayne was asked about the line at the end of Bring It Back. In quotes, "You got a line at the end of Bring It Back where you say best rapper alive since the best rapper retired. That's a pretty heavy boast to lay down on wax. Do you think anybody is going to test you on that?" Wayne responded saying, quote, "We have yet to see. If anybody does try to test me, then I swear to you I'll eat him for breakfast, and I'll tell you how it was next interview." Then the interviewer asked, "Will you eat him with milk?"
Pause.
To which Wayne responded saying, quote, "Nah, I don't need nothing to digest it down with. They are weaklings." 4 days later, on June 29th, 2004, Lil Wayne dropped his fourth album, The Carter. During this time, Destiny's Child were gearing up to drop their fifth and final album as a group called Destiny Fulfilled, which was set to drop in November of that year. Now, if you know, Beyonce is a part of Destiny's Child, which of course is Jay-Z's wife. One of the singles from the album is titled Soldier, featuring T.I. and Lil Wayne. Now, it's been said that Jay-Z actually was the one that requested Lil Wayne to be featured on this track, so Hove was definitely paying close attention to Weezy. After dropping The Carter, Lil Wayne's contract with Cash Money was fulfilled, and he was now a free agent. So in December 2004, the then president of Def Jam, Jay-Z, was trying to sign Lil Wayne to Def Jam/Rockefeller. Lil Wayne ultimately declined Jay's offer, and on February 7th, 2005, Lil Wayne resigned with Cash Money Records. Wayne told MTV News about declining Jay's offer, saying, quote, "It was very tough, but you know, I'm a loyal dude. I stick with the fam. But I hope we could do something in the future with my fam and his fam." Jay-Z would speak on the meeting he had with Lil Wayne on a Breakfast Club interview years later in 2013.
The truth is, after I had a meeting with Wayne, I had a relationship with Baby, so I felt it was only right to call him. You know, I called him out of respect, like, yo, I was talking to Wayne, just letting you know. So after that, I think we received a letter at our office for like torturous interference from a lawyer, and I was like, whoa.
Was it sports?
Just
They
letting
do
you know.
that?
I could have signed him. I could have signed him and then told him after, but you know, I did the right thing, and I'm cool with that decision.
In 2016, Lil Wayne did an interview with Shade 45 Sirius XM where he recalled a meeting he had with Jay-Z about signing to Def Jam and Rockefeller, where he claims that Hove only offered him $175,000. Lil Wayne also spoke about signing with Rockefeller/Def Jam in 2005 in an interview with Smack DVD on his tour bus.
You know, like, and it's been in the press and streets talk. She was recently about to go to Def Jam. This nigga Hov. You know what I'm saying? What was that about?
Yeah. Yeah, I was hollering at Hov, but as far as, you know, about to go, you probably couldn't say whatever about it, but the situation was we had a conversation, and, you know, a conversation with Weezy and Hov could take to the higher plateau.
Am I tripping, or Wayne sounds like, even though he looks inebriated here, when Wayne talks these days, like, I don't know, it's like, I don't know if it's maybe the health problems or the drugs, but he sounds clearer here.
You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just a conversation, it's gonna be more than that because we are who we are. And but yeah, the conversation was about me joining Def Jam or the Rockefeller team or whatever. You know, we didn't agree on certain things or whatever the situation was, it didn't work out. And I'm here where I am, but you know, it's all love.
As rumors were spreading about Wayne signing to Def Jam/Rockefeller, somewhere in 2005, Lil Wayne was performing at a club in Jackson, Mississippi, which was being aired on WJTV 12 CBS, dubbed as the Admission Granted special, where he would say that he's now a Def Jam artist, and the next time we see him, he'll be with the boy Jay-Z.
Cash Money Millionaire thing. I did that as long as I could do it. I'm a Def Jam artist now, man. So next time you see me, I'm gonna be with the boy Jay-Z, you understand me?
Now, obviously, this never ended up happening, so maybe Wayne was just trying to trick the media into thinking he was signed to Def Jam. Later that year, on December 6th, 2005, Lil Wayne dropped his album The Carter 2, and on this is a track called Best Rapper Alive, where Wayne once again boasts about being the best rapper alive. The next year, in 2006, Lil Wayne did an interview with Music Choice, and he spoke on his track Best Rapper Alive, saying that he got no flack for the track, and says that Jay-Z didn't give him no flack for it either.
I ain't getting no flack from that. I mean, of course from the haters, but I mean from the man. From Jay, I ain't nobody, you know, he propped me up when he see me. They gave me a lot of confidence to put a new song out called The Best Rapper on my album.
In another interview in 2006, the interviewer said that one of the tracks on the Carter 2, called Shooter, could be Wayne's version of Hard Knock Life. Wayne responded saying, quote, "Me and my homies, we sit around, and even with the success of this album, we still sit and say, I need that Hard Knock Life song. I need that song that got Jay over that Hard Knock Life song. And for you to just say that is on my album that's already out, that's amazing, man." On May 22nd, 2006, Lil Wayne dropped the second installment of the Dedication series mixtape, Dedication 2. On the skit, I'm the Best Rapper Alive, Wayne once again reminds everyone that he's the best rapper alive. In 2022, at the BET Awards in LA, DJ Drama was interviewed by Hip Hop DX on the red carpet, where he said that he helped Wayne write the script for that skit, saying, quote, "At the time that was coming off of Hove, saying hands down he was the greatest, here comes Tunchi, staking the claim and putting the crown on him." That summer, in June of 2006, Jay-Z announced that he would be coming out of retirement at the age of 36 and was dropping an album that fall titled Kingdom Come. On September 27th, 2006, Lil Wayne sat down with MTV News for an interview, and when discussing Jay-Z's comeback, this is what he had to say.
Did you get the two calls? I know for a while you've been wanting to do something with
Jay-Z, he's back out of retirement now.
He never called.
He never called.
I mean, I talked to him though. You know, he tell me everything I want to hear though. He let me know that I'm that dude. He see me, keep my head up. That's better than the verse for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's my idol right there. That's role model right there. You know what I mean? He ain't never got to do a verse for me. You know what I mean? Just from him acknowledging me when anybody else asks him anything.
Nah, Jay a hater, bro. Nah, this is premeditated hate, man. Damn. You could tell this nigga wanted a verse, man.
When they don't, he say something. I mean, that's enough for the boy right here.
A couple of weeks later, on October 6, 2006, Jay-Z's first single from his comeback album Kingdom Come was leaked to the radio. The track was called Show Me What You Got. The track would officially be released as the first single to the album on October 30th, 2006. On this track, Jay-Z warns all the rappers in the game that he's back, with a line calling himself the Michael Jordan of rap.
I'm back. I am the Mike Jordan of recording. You might want to fall back from recording.
Now keep these bars in mind because it will come into play shortly. On November 21st, 2006, Jay-Z dropped his comeback album Kingdom Come.
This album was trash. Garbage. I think it dropped in 2006. Even though I did like Lost Ones. Lost Ones was a fire song. That was him basically saying that he was trying to keep up with Beyonce and that he bought his nephew a car that he passed away in. I like that song.
The title track, titled Kingdom Come, on the intro, Jay-Z calls himself hip-hop savior, alluding that hip-hop has been dead since he left.
Not only NYC, I'm hip-hop savior.
Track 11 is a track titled Trouble, and on the third verse, it's heavily speculated that this entire verse was a subliminal diss towards Lil Wayne. Throughout the entire verse, Jay is talking to someone he refers to as Lil.
Cute, you little think you in my class. Substitute little soon feel my rap.
A couple of weeks later, on December 2nd, 2006, Lil Wayne and Young Money Entertainment dropped the mixtape Lil Louisiana Volume 1. On this mixtape was a track called Dough Is What I Got, which was Lil Wayne rapping over the beat to Jay-Z's track Show Me What You Got off of Kingdom Come. On the first verse, Lil Wayne once again took subliminal shots at Jay-Z when he responded to Jay's claim of him being the Michael Jordan of recording. Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time, so it's no surprise why Hove frequently compares himself to Jordan. Lil Wayne says that he must be LeBron James if Jay-Z is Jordan, but then he says that he's not LeBron because he has rings, and in 2006, LeBron James didn't win an NBA Finals yet. Then compares himself to Kobe Bryant because Kobe Bryant stayed with the Lakers his whole career, and up to this point, Wayne has been with Cash Money Records his whole career too. And also, Kobe Bryant has won NBA rings at...
Chat, I think we all agree, right? I'm down to say this, right? You know, even though, yeah, I'll say this. If we're gonna compare the basketball players, Jay is Jordan, Kobe is Wayne. I think Wayne is Kobe. Wayne is Kobe. You looked at and try to mirror and take certain things from the guy you thought was the GOAT. You were trying to be him. And then you get the LeBron, the guy who he don't maybe have a fadeaway like you, but he has different skills. Like he starts singing, he does everything. I think Drake is LeBron. You get what I'm saying? Now, here's the thing, and this is one of the reasons why I'm big on Wayne getting his flowers, is because, you know, rest in peace to Kobe. But Kobe dying, I think people don't give Kobe his proper flowers because, you know, they just compare Mike to LeBron. And also, here's the thing too. This is why, as you go along in life and you're watching sports, at some point you gotta hit your idol with the Allen Iverson crossover. Because if you stay in their shadow too much and you're seen as the consummate student and you're seen as someone who's like, for example, I think, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think Kobe would have given Mike the business. But nobody will say that because Kobe's game was modeled after Mike. So he's in Mike's shadow. It's sacrilegious to say he's better than Mike when he learned everything by watching Mike. So that's why, he put himself that, he's in the same conversation as Mike, but he'll never be greater than Mike. Because all you're known as is that you looked up to this guy, right? See, LeBron's a little bit different, right? Even if he fucks with Mike, like his build and his play is different from Mike. That's where I feel Wayne, Wayne's kind of in that, even though, by the way, I don't think Wayne really, if you listen to Jay's raps, Wayne's raps isn't really like, especially latter years when he starts going with auto-tune and start doing a lot of melodic shit, like, but I do think the propensity and the dedication to lyricism that Wayne had definitely was inspired and came from Jay-Z.
At that point.
Yo, somebody said J. Cole is Iverson. Yo, Mods, time that nigga out, please. Don't ever disrespect Iverson like that. Allen Iverson's a nigga that had heart and had guts. He was playing with bum-ass niggas like Eric Snow and Tyrone Hill, and he went to war. He was 165 pounds soaking wet, getting knocked on the floor by a 300-pound Shaquille O'Neal. He never stepped down from a challenge. He never made an excuse. He never backpedaled, and he never apologized. Don't you ever, time that nigga out, don't you ever compare a warrior. Let me tell you this. I'd rather have 55 Allen Iversons around me than have 300 motherfucking J. Cole's. A J. Cole nigga, once you start losing, he start apologizing to the op. You squabbling, you look over, J. Cole's having a conversation with the op talking about, I'm sorry. Yeah, don't you ever compare Allen Iverson to bum ass, and it's not bum ass. Let me not disrespect J. Cole. It's not bum ass J. Cole, but it's a nigga without a heart. J. Cole, like when you think about J. Cole is like, he's like the Scarecrow. He's like the Tin Man. He lacks a heart. He's like the lion in Wizard of Oz. He lacks a heart. He lacks everything that makes a warrior. That's J. Cole. Allen Iverson was never that. If anything, Allen Iverson just had too much loyalty because he never had enough to win the championship. And if he did what LeBron did by going to Miami and teamed up with a couple niggas early on in his career, Allen Iverson would have had a couple rings. Word too.
Point.
I am the Mike Jordan of recording. You might want to fall back from recording.
I must be LeBron James if he's Jordan. No, I won rings with my performance. I'm more Kobe Bryant of an artist.
In 2020, Nori claimed that after Jay-Z heard Wayne's "Dough Is What I Got," it made Hov go on a long walk and look at himself in the mirror, questioning if he still got it.
He said when he rapped on Show Me What You Got, I had to take a long walk and look at myself in the mirror. And I said, are you sure you still got this?
That same month, Lil Wayne appeared on the cover of the December 2006 issue of the Complex magazine and sat down for an interview. During the interview, he was asked about Jay-Z's comeback. This is what he had to say. The interviewer asked, quote, "How do you feel about Jay's return so far? How many songs have you heard of his?" Wayne replied saying, quote, "I heard a couple, and I'm going to tell you if I like what he's talking about. But I don't like what he's talking about, and I'm going to tell you why. Because he's saying it like he had to come back, like hip-hop's dead, all this, like I'm a hip-hop artist."
Hey, by the way, Just Be Yapping, thank you for the $10 donation. Of course, I see you. I'm not going to ignore you. She said, Wayne isn't performing because the New Orleans city panel didn't pick him. The whole city makes the final decision from what the NFL gives. Wayne/YM is on the list thanks to Jay, but New Orleans, the city, did not pick him and them. Wayne's still a GOAT. Just Be Yapping. I need some proof of that. Again, we don't know how the decision's made, but from what we were told, pretty much the majority of the authority on picking these individuals relied upon Jay-Z. Now, granted, if Jay-Z says he wants, I don't know, Quando Rondo, of course the NFL is going to be like, no, we don't want that, right? Like, yeah. So the NFL or some other governing body could still trump what Jay's saying, but they kind of gave him free reign of the entertainment aspect of it, which is the halftime show. So if you're saying that the Super Bowl halftime show was decided by a panel, a New Orleans panel, as you're saying, a city panel, and they didn't pick Lil Wayne, you got to show me a little bit of proof of that, Shorty, okay? I'm not saying you're lying, and I thank you for the donation, but that sounds wild to me. Yeah. Send some proof in, and we'll go over it.
B, what you mean it's dead? So that means I'm not rapping the whole time? I've been in it 13 years, Daddy. How can it be dead? You know what I mean? If anything, it's reborn. Know what I mean? So he's probably having a problem with that. Like this whole aspect of coming back was because it was dead and y'all needed me. Nah, I want him to know that. You left on a good note. You left. This was your house. All the people in the house, all the artists were saying, yo, this is Jay's house. He's bowing out gracefully. We all say he's the best. All the players say, you the coach, you're the best. We love it. You bowed out. You come back and this is still your house? Nah, we effed the bitches in your bed already. Nah, I mean, it's not your house, Daddy. And I just want him to know that. That's from a competitive level. You know what I mean? That's not no beefing or no hating shit or nothing like that. It's just I'm a rapper. And he always capitalizes on rappers being very confident about themselves. Like when everybody asks him, how do you feel about this person saying this about you? If it's anything about rap, he'll be like, they're supposed to say that. So I'm supposed to feel that you're talking about me when you say rap is dead. I mean, I've been out here rapping all my life. What the do you mean? And I'm better than you, Daddy. The interviewer then asks Wayne if he feels he's better than Jay-Z right now, to which he replied saying, quote, who don't? After this interview got out, people started talking about Lil Wayne's comments about Jay-Z, and rumors began spreading like wildfire that these two were now publicly beefing. Fast forward months later, in April 2007, Lil Wayne graced the cover of the April 2007 edition of the XXL magazine,
I remember this cover,
where he would sit down with them for an interview. In the interview, Wayne would apologize to Jay-Z about his comments in his Complex interview in December, saying, quote, I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to apologize to Jay and his family and friends, because I was asked that question, and they put it in there like I was just feeling like, oh, you know what? I'm better than Jay.
Ooh, by the way, thank you to Tupac Archives for the 10. He says, yo, Act, please have Martin Shkreli come back and play the rest of the OG Carter 5. Yo, Loki, I was setting up an interview with him. I think he just got out of jail still. So it's difficult because I don't think he could travel to come to my studio. We were talking about it. We got to figure out like the logistics. So we're probably going to have to either go to where he's at. I don't know if he got to get approval by like his parole or PO or whatever. But yeah, I do want to sit with Martin Shkreli. Matter of fact, y'all hit him up. You'll tell him, yo, let's figure it out, because we were talking about it, but I could tell, you know, his situation post jail was probably preventing it, because I was like, yo, this is our location. Come here. And I don't know if he was allowed to be there. You know what I mean?
They came at me like, so you say you're the best? Can you just say that you're better than everybody? Would you say you're better than Jay? I was like, yeah, I'm better than everybody.
Oh, he apologized to Jay? Come on, Wayne.
But I like to throw that apology out there because of whatever trouble I caused, I ain't want that to happen. That same month, on April 13th, 2007, Lil Wayne dropped his all-time classic mixtape, The Drought 3, which included his Dough Is What I Got track. Now, the king of subliminals, Jay-Z, was not going to just sit back and not respond. That summer, on July 3rd, 2007, T.I. dropped his album T.I. vs. T.I.P. Track 7, titled Watch What You Say to Me, features Jay-Z, and at the end of his verse, he sent subliminal shots back at Lil Wayne. Hope said that he hears Wayne baiting him into replying.
I hear you baiting me lately. I've been doing my best just to say hate and free still. Watch what you say to me.
Jay-Z then says he's going to take up Lil Wayne on that offer if he keeps throwing subliminals, meaning he's going to engage in this rap battle. Then Hov said that he's going to replace Birdman as Wayne's father.
Sooner or later, I take you up on your offer and put you all in your place like I'm replacing your father.
And says that his DNA is in Wayne's music because Lil Wayne has said that Jay-Z inspired him a lot.
You talking to the author, the architect of the blueprint, my DNA in your music, motherfucker.
After this, the beef rumors were running rampant, but something weird happened later that year. On November 6th, 2007, Jay-Z dropped his album American Gangster, and on the track Hello Brooklyn 2.0, Lil Wayne is featured. This marked the first official collaboration between Weezy and Hov. This track was originally just a solo Lil Wayne track, most likely to appear on the Carter 3, but according to Wayne in an MTV interview, he said, quote, Jay heard the song some type of way. When he heard it, he said, ask the homie if I can get this. More honored than offended, it was an easy answer. When I asked the question, I told him it wasn't even a question. He's got it. Everybody in the world knows how I feel about Jay. He's the king. Utmost respect. That same month,
you know what, yo, a lot of these relationships, and I think, you know, as you go along in life, you'll learn you can't look up too much to a nigga because you'll always get blinded by your admiration and your respect for them, and you'll start to ignore their blatant disrespect for you, right? I think that's the same thing that Kanye had with Jay. Yo, he's like, yo, my big brother was Big's brother. Then he was talking about how the whole time he's talking about how Jay's hoeing him. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are looking up to Jay, but really, they're just chronicling how Jay is disrespecting them.
Jay-Z was performing at the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City at his American Gangster concert when he would bring out Lil Wayne as the two both performed Hello Brooklyn 2.0 together. After the performance, Wayne and Jay shut down beef rumors when Wayne pointed to Jay, calling him the best rapper alive, then pointing to himself and said that he's the next rapper in line.
The best rapper alive, the next rapper in line.
After that, everything seemed cool between the two. The next year, in 2008, Lil Wayne would be on fire as he began the rollout to his album The Carter 3. On March 13th, 2008, Lil Wayne dropped the first single to the album, a track titled Lollipop. This track would be Wayne's highest charting single up to this point, peaking at number 1 on the Billboard, becoming Lil Wayne's first single to reach number 1. After this, it was clear that we were officially in the Lil Wayne era, as he was easily the hottest rapper on the planet commercially, and...
Oh, by the way, I seen somebody just send a donation. Who was that? Yo, Freak the Gemini, thank you. By the way, you're going to be the reason I send out a text right now. You say you think Lil Wayne was denied because he would have brought Nicki Minaj and Drake out to perform like Nicki claims. Yo, his manager texted me. I'm going to ask his manager. So, hey, Freak the Gemini, I'm going to get an answer for you, but the reason why I'm doing this is because of you, just to let you know. You just brought up a good point. I'm writing a message to Wayne's manager right now. Did NFL ever reach out to Wayne about the Super Bowl? Or was he just completely blindsided? That's good to know, right? Because like we don't know how this process goes. All right, I hit Wayne's manager. I'll get an answer.
Was the best rapper. On April 23rd, 2008, Lil Wayne dropped the second single from the album called A Milli, to which this track peaked at number 6 on the US Billboard Hot 100. In the summer of 2008, Jay-Z would end up doing his...
Furling Gaming, you say NOLA votes for Kendrick? Where is this thing where y'all saying New Orleans voted for Kendrick? Like, who the fuck said that New Orleans voted for Kendrick? Okay. All right. So, we're getting a little bit more information here. Hold on. Y'all like my typing speed? I used to type 85 words per minute in high school. Okay, all right. Here's an article. So this article was published on January 10th, 2024. It says, here's how the NFL chooses the halftime performers, okay? It says the Super Bowl halftime show is probably one of the most highest profile spectacles in all sports. After all, when else do musical artists have a captive audience of more than 100 million people? Even if half the TV viewers get snacks and go to the bathroom at halftime, there's still at least 50 million people watching the show. Since it's such a big stage, the Super Bowl halftime performer come from a pretty short list. Your friend's cover band that plays on Sunday night at a local watering hole probably has no chance of getting the gig, although even some of the biggest names in entertainment are responsible for the worst Super Bowl halftime shows. Probably because only the biggest stars are invited. This is how it works. Duh. But how does the NFL choose who plays? The NFL is a massive entity and the most popular sport in the United States of America. So it takes a lot of care to make the right decision for the Super Bowl halftime show. A journalist who used to cover the Tennessee Titans writes on Quora that the league considers popularity, music genre, and artists overall performance value. So even though Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones were at the peak of their powers in the late 1960s, they didn't have a broad enough appeal to play at the Super Bowl. Not that they would have wanted to play anyway. So the leagues start with popular performers who appeal to many people as possible, and goes from there. However, it is not the NFL who chooses who takes the stage. The league comes up with a short list, but the host city picks the Super Bowl halftime performers. Okay, let's stop it right there, chat. Let's stop it right there. They're saying that a journalist who used to cover the Tennessee Titans writes on Quora, whatever that website is. First and foremost, let me see if we can find. Can we find it? No. Okay, I'm trying to find it. Again, chat, it's important to know whatever journalist this is and what they're talking about. They might be talking about pre-2021, which is when Jay-Z signed the deal. I don't need to play this again, but I'll play it again. It literally said the deal, or I'll Google it. It said the deal, Jay-Z deal, NFL. It said that he was going to, look. Then here's a new partnership. Let's read again. It was entering a partnership with Roc Nation. Okay. The deal, which has been reportedly been in the works for several months, means Roc Nation will now advise on selecting artists for major NFL performances like the Super Bowl. Okay. Now, we're not saying that Jay-Z made the decision, but shit, he's definitely in the room and advising. That's the point. Now, to this article, we're not sure if this is the same method that they're going by. So it's important to try to figure out when this Tennessee Titan journalist is talking. Are they talking after the deal, or are they talking before the deal? Because pretty much what we've heard from everybody who has performed since 2021, they basically almost say it's not just an advisory position. It's almost like if Jay says you should perform, you're going to perform. And if Jay don't want you to perform, you ain't going to perform. Or it's going to be hard for you to perform. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, okay. So the league starts with okay. The league starts with popular performers who appeals to as many people as possible and goes from there. However, it's not the NFL that chooses who takes the stage. The league comes up with a short list, but it's the whole city that picks the Super Bowl halftime performers. We don't know if that's the case anymore. We don't know. We just don't know. Okay? Atlanta, which hosted 2019. Again, see? They're talking about Super Bowls before 2021. This is before 2021. So if this journalist info is before 2021, yes, that was the case. But now Jay-Z and Rock Nation took it over. So we don't know if that's true. Okay, anyway.
His own remix of this track called A Billy. On June 3rd, 2008, rapper Freaky Zeke dropped his mixtape Blame It on the Henny. On this is a track called Beat Without Bass, featuring Lil Wayne. At the end of his verse, Lil Wayne has a message to quote-unquote old-ass rappers, likely referring to Jay-Z, saying that he's like 44 and that he's only 24 years old.
You old-ass rappers better stay on tour. You like 44, I'm 24.
On June 10th, 2008, Lil Wayne dropped his album The Carter 3, to which Jay-Z repaid the...
Wait, how old was Jay-Z in 2007? How old was Jay-Z in 2007? Oh, he's 38. He wasn't 44. Okay.
...the favor, being featured on the track Mr. Carter, marking their second collab. On Jay's verse, he essentially says that he's passing the torch to Lil Wayne when he refers to Wayne as his heir to the throne. If we take a look at the definition of heir, it says that it's a person inheriting or continuing the legacy of a predecessor.
I'm right here in my chair with my crown and my dear Queen Bee as I share my time with my ear, Young Carter.
On the outro, Lil Wayne quotes lyrics from his favorite song of all time, Lucky Me, off of Jay-Z's album In My Lifetime Volume 1.
I swear to everything, when I leave this earth, it's gonna be on both feet, never knees in the dirt.
And I swear to everything, when I leave this earth, it's gonna be on both feet, never knees in the dirt.
This album would go on to sell over 1 million copies in the first week, going #1 on the Billboard charts, making history as one of the very few rap albums to achieve 1 million plus copies sold in the first week.
By the way, Ryan, thank you for the 10. He says, yo, Dame Dash, Dipset, DMX, Drake, Lil Wayne, Nas, etc. all talk shit about Hove, then they need him after. Hove said, y'all niggas gonna learn to respect the king. Don't be the next contestants on the Summer Jam screen. Yeah, we'll get to it because Memphis Bleak basically put something up, basically saying it was like an old J quote saying, anytime niggas got a problem with me, it's always about what I didn't do for them. It's never what I did to them.
Week, Lil Wayne just completely took over the rap game with this album, putting rappers on notice as he had the game in a chokehold. A couple of weeks later, on June 23rd, 2008, Lil Wayne did an interview with Rolling Stone. When they asked him how it felt to be called Jay-Z's heir on Mr. Carter, Wayne replied saying, quote, "That line right there was hard. Unbelievable. I didn't realize it at first. My homie had to tell me, you know what he said, right? I didn't even get it. I was like, why is he saying heir? Is he just talking about the heir? But I'm smart enough to know that he's smart enough not to just be talking about the heir. I felt real dumb, but then I felt so good. It was an incredible compliment." On July 14th, 2008, Lil Wayne did an interview with People magazine where he would speak on the 4 albums that changed his life, one of them being Jay-Z's In My Lifetime Volume 1. Wayne spoke about the song Lucky Me, which we discussed earlier, saying, quote, "Lucky Me is my favorite song of all, period. I actually have Lucky Me tattooed on my neck, and I have a verse of that song tattooed on my leg." Now, Lil Wayne does in fact have Lucky Me tattooed on his neck and lyrics on his leg. That year in 2008, T.I. was gearing up to drop his album Paper Trail. On September 6th, 2008, T.I. and Jay-Z dropped the track Swagger Like Us, to which they recruited Kanye and Lil Wayne to be featured. This track was originally intended to appear on both T.I.'s album Paper Trail and Jay-Z's upcoming album Blueprint 3, but only ended up being on T.I.'s album. That same month, Jay-Z graced the cover of Vibe magazine where he sat down for an interview, and during the interview, he spoke on Lil Wayne being next in line, saying, quote, "You should embrace the next generation. In hip-hop, you always fight the next person coming in because the person wants your spot. But as a person, as a competitor, that's only natural. There was a time Kobe was like, I think I can take Mike. I admire that in a way. The public has Lil Wayne next in line. That's what the public says, so why not?" The next month, on October 27th, 2008, Lil Wayne and Jay-Z were both co-headlining Power 105.1's Powerhouse in East Rutherford, New Jersey, but Lil Wayne did not end up showing up to the show on time after problems with a metal detector, so they had to perform their sets separately. This mega headline was now ruined, and to boot, Wayne's set was reportedly discombobulated and spotty. A couple of months later, on February 8th, 2009, the 51st annual Grammys were held at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, where Lil Wayne and Jay-Z would perform Swagger Like Us together, and they won a Grammy for that track under the Best Rap Performance by a Duo or Group category. On September 8th, 2009,
Peter Stone, thank you for the time, brother, but you said you clearly have a narrative to push. The article is telling you what they do, but you want to do a spin because it's not fitting what you're saying. The stream is some weird J hate. No, it's not. The article is sourcing a journalist that is speaking about how Super Bowl performers were picked from an era before Jay-Z was ever involved. Again, unless they're telling us that's what happened from 2021 on, again, the NFL did a random deal. They never did this deal with no one else. They did a random deal with Jay-Z to stop players from kneeling, and they gave him an advisory position and basically made him like almost the person that was in charge of all of the entertainment like performances in the NFL. So unless any journalist could tell me 2021 on, I don't think you telling me how it worked in 2015 applies to Jay-Z at all, because there was no position of what Jay-Z's doing. So it's not an anti-Jay-Z thing. It's like, yeah, I read the article, but nowhere in the article actually said that their information came from 2021 on when Jay-Z is involved.
Jay-Z dropped his album The Blueprint 3, which would sell 476,000 copies in the first week, debuting at number 1 on the Billboard 200. On 2 of the tracks, he shouts out Lil Wayne. On the track DOA, Death of Autotune, he says that he's going to send this track to the mixtape Wheezy.
This shit need a verse from Cheesy. I might send this to the mixtape Wheezy.
On the track A Star Is Born, he says that he applauds Lil Wayne, and if he keeps going, he'll pass the torch to him.
Wayne scorching, I'll applaud him if he keep going, pass the torch to him.
After this is when their relationship would begin to crumble. After this album dropped, MTV would name Jay-Z the hottest MC in the game. On October 19th, 2009, Birdman was doing an interview, and when he was asked about Jay-Z being named MTV's hottest MC, this is what he had to say about it.
Jay-Z just got voted number 1 by MTV, number 1 MC. What do you make of that?
I don't think he's the number 1 MC. Wayne the best, he do the most, and he make the most money.
Yeah.
I don't think in the business make more money than us.
Fair enough.
And so how could you be the best if you don't make the best money, the most money, and you don't do the most?
Mm-hmm.
Lyrically, come on, man, be for real, man. Can't nobody for Wayne us. And to me, if you number 1 and you ain't getting no money, don't mean nothing. You hear me? So, but if you number 1 and you making money, to me, who making the most money? That's number 1 to me. All that rap shit. You hear me? They got cold rappers you never even heard.
Now, initially, Jay-Z did not respond to Birdman's comments, and on October 31st, 2009, Lil Wayne dropped his mixtape No Ceilings, to which he would rap over the beat to Jay-Z's tracks Death of Autotune and Run This Town. In January 2010, Jay-Z sat down with Angie Martinez at Hot 97 for an interview. Angie asked Hov what he thinks about Birdman's comments, to which he responded saying this.
How does Jay feel about Baby from Cash Money constantly saying Weezy is more lyrical and has more money than Jay-Z?
You know, being lyrical is just a matter of opinion. It's who you like. So, you know, that's his opinion. As far as money, I mean, you know, that's a little more factual. Right, we can determine that.
Right, we would have to see your bank accounts and things of this
I have
nature.
no problem, but it's gonna cost. Put it up. If he's that confident, you know, I give him a little glimpse. It's crazy. I give him a little glimpse. Check that out. Cut it out. Knock it off. But as far as, you know, being lyrical, I mean, that's from one's, you know, that's for the viewers.
That's anybody's, yeah.
That's everybody.
That crystallizes Jay-Z right there. That just contextualizes it. Obviously, you know, he's an amazing artist and probably one of the best. Not probably one of the best. He's one of the best, like one of like three. But the reason why he's a great businessman, even he knows, even as great as he is musically, that's subjective. When it comes to business, that ain't subjective.
So if he believes that, then I respect that, you know, and that's his guy. So he's supposed to ride with his guy. So I don't have no problems with that. I have no problems with nobody. It's my positive. I want this to be my most positive year. I don't want no problems.
Beyonce and Jay-Z earned $122 million, becoming the highest earning.
Right after that.
Huh?
Right after that.
Right
so
after
I'm saying black and white is ink, baby. I'm just having fun.
Fast forward to March of 2010, Jay-Z was on his Blueprint 3 tour with Jeezy at a show in Madison Square Garden, where Jeezy would bring out Drake, Nicki Minaj, and Lil Wayne. Now, unfortunately, just a couple of days after this concert, on March 8th, 2010, Lil Wayne was sentenced to a 1-year jail sentence after pleading guilty to possession of a gun, which stemmed from a July 2007 arrest when a loaded .40 caliber semi-automatic gun was found on his tour bus. Lil Wayne would begin his 1-year jail sentence in Rikers Island Jail with a possible shortened sentence of 8 months if he has good behavior. During this time, Lil Wayne's Young Money protege, Drake, would take over the rap game, releasing his debut album, Thank Me Later, in June of 2010, which would sell over 400,000 copies in the first week. And after this, it was clear that Drake was up next. In July of 2010, Drake did an interview with Tim Westwood where he would reveal that him and Lil Wayne were planning on dropping a collab album. Lil Wayne would be released in November of 2010, just 8 months after being sentenced.
Now, we're going to get into when Birdman and Wayne try to wake up the whole money thing again.
That same month, Kanye West and Jay-Z would announce that they were dropping a collaboration album called Watch the Throne, to which the production began in November of 2010. In January of 2011, Drake would do another interview with Tim Westwood where he would accuse Kanye West and Jay-Z of stealing his and Lil Wayne's idea of a collaboration album.
I mean, you know, that we still got to do that album.
Yes, you still got to do that
some
album.
other guys are coming out with the album too. There's 2 other guys that are coming out with it together. 2 other rappers that are coming out with an album together. I don't know where they got that idea, but...
That same month, Jay-Z and Kanye West would begin the rollout for the collab album Watch the Throne. On January 11th, 2011, they dropped the first single on the album titled Ham, and on his verse, Jay-Z would send shots at Birdman for saying that Lil Wayne has more money than him in his interview. He directly mentions Birdman's nickname, Baby, and says that they don't even have as much money as his wife, Beyonce.
Really $500 million, really, you got baby money. Keep it real with niggas ain't got my lady money.
Lil Wayne, of course, heard this, so on August 29th, 2011, Lil Wayne dropped his album The Carter 4. And on the track It's Good, featuring Drake and Jadakiss, on his verse, Wayne responded to Jay-Z. Weezy directly references Hope's Baby Money bar from Ham. Then he threatens to kidnap Beyonce and take out Jay-Z.
Talking about baby money, I got your baby money. Kidnap your, get that how much you love your lady money.
Jay-Z would later speak on this in his Breakfast Club interview in 2013.
How close were you to really spanking Wayne when he threw that shot at the wife?
Nah, it was alright. It's part of you know, the sport and the competition. I didn't take it serious. I didn't view it as a threat, but I didn't take it as a real threat. I took it as a flip of a line.
Lil Wayne would also do an interview later in 2011 with Sway, where he would speak on Jay-Z's diss on him.
You ask him about the Jay-Z line?
I wouldn't ask him about a Jay-Z line because he's not Jay-Z.
Is that something you would react to as an MC?
Actually, the subject that he's talking about in that line, I can't box with the guard with that. You know what I mean? And I'll be the first one to tell you that. Given my wit and the type of person I am, I'll capitalize and I'll play off of it.
Fast forward to January 2012, Birdman did an interview with the Big Boys Neighborhood where he would speak on the issues between himself and Jay-Z.
Is there an issue with you and Jay-Z? Like Jay-Z said something in the record Ham. He was saying, you know, you ain't got baby money, you spending baby money. Is there an issue?
Not with me, but I don't know how he feeling, but we just doing what we do, you know. We ain't tripping. We spending baby money. That's how we live.
The next month, on February 12th, 2012, YMCMB hosted a pre-party for the Grammys, and during this, Lil Wayne got on the mic to spit a few bars, where he would diss Jay-Z and Kanye when he directly mentions Watch the Throne.
And other than that, I ain't really got nothing else to say, but I met a bad red bomb. I took the home. I asked her what she want to watch. She said, surely not the throne.
Oh, I've never seen this. Yo, Birdman looked like a proud father, man. Throwing up that blood, son.
Surely not the throne.
Drop mic moment. Look at McMean. Oh shit, I just realized Drake was
and
here
his
too.
fam.
Oh,
Jay-Z would speak
God damn it.
Westwood, where he would reference to spit a few bars.
Where's Nicki at?
And other than that, I ain't really got nothing else
I know Drake is here. Where's Nicki?
to say, but I met a bad red bomb. I took the
Who's this nigga right here? Is this Little Twist? Oh shit.
home. I asked her what she want to
I forgot this girl's name. What was this girl's name again?
watch. She said, surely not the throne.
Nah, Wayne stand on business.
The next year, on July 4th, 2013, Jay-Z dropped his album Magna Carta Holy Grail. And on the track La Familia, he responded to Wayne saying he was going to kidnap Beyonce, telling him good luck on trying to kidnap her.
Just wanna kidnap white feet. Good luck with that, bruh.
After this, the beef would begin to die down as Wayne never responded to these lines. The next year, Lil Wayne was gearing up to drop the 5th installment of the Carter series. On May 15th, 2014, Lil Wayne dropped what would have been the second single on the album, a track called Douce. Now, if you know, Douce was the liquor brand Jay-Z was endorsing at the time, having stake in the company. On the intro to the track, Wayne shouts out Jay-Z.
Ho, what your boy?
On July 3rd, 2014, Lil Wayne did an interview with MTV where he would explain why he shouted out Jay-Z on the track, saying, quote, "We was just on that Douce heavy. I don't write none of my music. I don't write it down. So I just go in there and say whatever come to my mind. So what came to my mind that night was what was on my mind that night." The Carter 5 would end up being delayed due to Wayne going through troubles with Cash Money, which is for a whole separate video. The next year, in 2015, Lil Wayne and Jay-Z would partner exclusively to drop his next album called the Free Weezy album exclusively on Tidal, which was the streaming service that Jay-Z was endorsing with stake in the company. The next year, in November 2016, Lil Wayne was performing his track I'm Me at the Camp Flog Gnaw Music Festival, where he would change the lyrics saying he's a Rockefeller millionaire instead of Cash Money millionaire.
Rockefeller millionaire.
On April 10th, 2017, Lil Wayne was performing at Slippery Rock University in Pennsylvania, and Wayne would once again shout out Jay-Z. This time he announced that he was a member of the team while throwing up the rock.
Is it cool if I just say, it's the rock? You know, I'm a member of that team now. We talk about that later though, but
The next year, on September 28th, 2018, Lil Wayne finally would drop his album The Carter 5 after an ongoing legal battle with Cash Money. In December of that year, Lil Wayne took to stage during a concert in Chicago to thank Jay-Z for helping him through the tough times he was facing over the past couple of years. Jay-Z helped him through a $7 million tax debt in 2011 and $6.8 million in 2012, totaling to over $14.1 million in taxes owed. Wayne thanks Jay-Z and Swizz Beatz for helping him with taxes and production when he was really down.
There's people like Jay-Z. You know what I mean? He helped me when I was really, really, really down. Really, really, really down. There's people like Swizz Beatz that's gonna send me every beat he make and want me to rap on every single one until I got my situation straight. He don't want me to talk about it, don't want me to tell nobody. Jay don't want me to tell nobody. That man helped me with my tax. These are real friends, y'all. Shout out to Jay, shout out to my Swiss, shout out to my brother Chance. Music! Y'all know his name?
After that, Lil Wayne would go on to praise Jay-Z on podcasts, even suggesting that if any rapper were to become president, it should be Jay-Z.
What rapper should run for president?
If there was a rapper that should ever run for president, I believe that rapper would easily or should easily be Jay-Z. Plain and simple. I don't even think there's a why that should come with that. After that, plain and simple. I would love to see B as the first lady. Plain and simple. Just another Carter in the White House.
So there you have it, the full timeline of Lil Wayne versus Jay-Z. Not really a serious beef, but a nice sparring match as the two competed for that #1 spot in hip-hop.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. Salute to Jay-Z, man. Classic Snake. I'll fuck with it. Classic motherfucking Snake, man. Anyway, there's a few other people that, try to jump